Keith Taylor, Green MEP for the South East. MEPs here in Strasbourg have voted to extend environmental impact assessments to fracking in particular. What's your reaction?
I'm very, very pleased by voting to ensure mandatory environmental impact assessments on all exploration and extraction, fracking, shale and gas. They are protecting the communities throughout the Union.
And in practice, what will this mean? What difference will communities now see in areas where there is fracking perhaps going to take place?
Well, before the vote today, there wasn't a requirement for baseline measurements taken before fracking takes place. And before today, there wasn't a requirement for all fracking operations to have an EIA. So therefore it's a step forward. It was a tight vote, but it's a proof that actually the majority of MEPs care about what happens in their constituencies.
And EIAs, or environmental impact assessments, we're told means that there could be more public participation in the process leading up to fracking, and also monitoring of the impact of these projects on the environment. What do you make of those measures? Yeah. How important are they?
Well, they're critical. You try talking to the people in Balcombe and see if they want to participate in the decisions that affect their community. Of course they do. And public participation is an inherent part of the environmental impact process.
And how much of a difference do you think that will make in having members of the public involved in the discussions beforehand? Would you expect to see a different result if you've got more public participation?
I think throughout the South East region there's a deal of education got to take place about fracking and its possible risks. At the moment, people and politicians don't know enough. Now, this EIA requirement is going to help that process advance. We want to make informed decisions and not just the decisions the politicians at Westminster think we should take.
Now, of course, before this would become European law, it would need the approval of government ministers from across Europe. Are you now going to be focusing your time in convincing them of the need to extend environmental impact assessments to shale gas?
Well, I think there's a job of work to do, and everybody's got a role to play. Politicians and NGOs, community groups, we all have to persuade the politicians to take an interest and to actually start acting in the interests of the community and not just making decisions about fracking with dollar signs in their eyes.